10, 11. Bring us up, please. What time is it? Okay, Board of County Commissioners are back in session, and this is an on-the-record review of Planning Council decision on Marshall Field subdivision. So go ahead and turn the time over to you. Planning and Zoning Board.
Turn the time to Tristan.
Tristan Borkman, Planning and Development Assistant Director. You have the packet before you for the appeal of Council's decision for the concept plan for Marshall Field subdivision. There is in the application that you have, it says see attachment when it's talking about the narrative, and you don't have an attachment.
Notice that.
That's because after consulting with legal, the information provided in that attachment would be considered new information. And since this is an on-the-record review and you are reviewing only what council heard, that attachment was not included.
Okay.
So that's clarification for you there. Otherwise, I think just if you have any questions for us on anything that you've read, we're happy to answer those.
So just going through the questions and stuff. The board, on a 2-to-1 vote, turned this down.
No, they
They
approved.
Approved it.
They approved it. Okay. Can I see that?
Yes, no, yes, okay. What was
I
that?
can't find one. If I could look
Oh,
at
yeah.
it.
There you go. You can just look at that. And the appeal of this is by whom?
Is by,
Henderson.
yes,
Natalie Henderson, is that
yes.
Maybe I misread that. Okay,
right? Amanda Henderson.
Amanda.
okay. Well, and that was part of my question, is we don't have part of the explanations that the board had.
For what?
Well,
Which explanation?
what you just said, look at the notes or,
Yeah, so that's on the appeal of council decision application is where it says see attachment.
okay.
You have the original
The
application.
yeah,
The original packet that council saw, including all of the public sign-up sheets and a copy of the transcripts.
yes, okay. Just that when I took this paper, it didn't quite jive with what I was looking for. So, any questions?
I do have a couple. Just for the record, the big issue with the applicant for the hearing was the ingress and egress deviation. Is that correct?
Correct.
And if I read that correctly, this only has one ingress and egress for the entire subdivision.
That's correct.
Okay. And just for my education, what is the difference between an open space lot and a regular lot in regards to ingress and egress? Does that impact the number of ingress and egress that we're supposed to have?
So our ordinance right now currently just states lots, which includes both undevelopable and developable lots. So the open space lot would be considered as counted toward one of the lots.
Okay, and so that does not impact the ingress or egress requirements then?
It can if that lot does bump you over that allowed number.
Okay.
It would be included in the count for the number of lots in the subdivision.
Okay,
The allowed number is greater than 25, and I believe if you add 4 lots along the frontage, plus this subdivision, including open space, I believe it comes to a total of 28.
so 28 total lots.
Correct.
Okay. And I didn't see anything from the fire district having any issues with that.
Nothing that came on the record.
Okay. And the only other comment that I would like to make on the record, Mr. Chair, is, and while this has no bearing on what the staff did, I would like it to be on record. DEQ submitted a comment where they have concerns about the wells and the wastewater. And in reading that, I've had several discussions with Mr. Jensen in regards to what we can do as a county to mitigate some of the concerns that the DEQ raised, which Granted, we are not the DEQ and don't have jurisdiction over the water per se, but I just want on the record that we're having ongoing discussions as to what we can do as a county to be cognizant of the water issues, both wastewater and groundwater, in subdivisions like this going forward, and try to be proactive in our approach to the water management.
Thank you. There was also a letter from Mr. Urban Green talking about the irrigation system that goes through the properties on the right-of-ways.
So there is an easement from the roads of the new platted subdivision, and that easement basically allows connection and access to the irrigation ditch across it would be the south east corner of the property. So they have been granted access for easement access for maintenance of that ditch.
Okay.
One item for commission to be cognizant of in the subdivision ordinance as it's written, and we are functioning under right now, under 401F, open space design subdivision, applicants may apply for design deviations for sections 402, 403, and 404. In section 402C, subdivision ingress and egress talks about the number of 25 as a total aggregate. However, there is a statement that says the council shall have the option of requiring 2 accesses for development of fewer lots where 1 access may not provide adequate safe ingress-egress due to steepness, wildlands, or development which would preclude use as a safe exit. And so the question was the deliberation of whether or not that singular provided safe access and exit. It doesn't say that they have to hold to 25. They can deliberate for a higher number. And that was the question, I believe, by Amanda, is that there was question on whether or not those deliberations actually took place. There was some question on whether or not a design deviation was actually applied for, and it was in the application, as well as noted in the staff report that that deviation was requested.
Okay. Any other questions?
No, those were the 2 things I had, was the open space and the ingress and egress. And you're right, there wasn't totally clear in the transcript, but I can see where it was discussed very briefly.
Okay.
So at this point in time, Mr. Chair, I would move that we uphold the council's decision based on the review of the findings, and it appears as if they followed procedure and ordinance as currently defined.
So we have a motion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right. Thank you. We are adjourned until